Good day. I'm Joshua Lisec, and this is Daily Persuasion. Shorter episode today. I was reflecting on some of the viral moments from the 249th birthday celebration, the Independence Day celebration, there at the White House. Donald J. Trump and all of the festivities, antics, and activities, and our friend and my co-author in a number of works, Jack Posobiec, was there live reporting for Human Events Daily special on-site assignment, all the various festivities and antics. And you know what has stayed with me after that particular experience, after all of the viral imagery? It's how Americana returned. These moments of young families, beautiful families, joy, the American flag everywhere, American iconography, reverence for the founding fathers, for the sacrifices that were made, people quoting speeches regularly, making a big deal about our heritage. And that is a word that has, I think, been tarnished a lot by left-wing indoctrination and propaganda. This idea that heritage is bad, and heritage is racism, and heritage is this, and heritage is that, and heritage is oppression, and they just kind of go off on that. This is what they do. Recall how in the communist revolution of Cambodia, how heritage was shamed into oblivion. If you were part of the old world and the old way, or had connection to the people of the past, of antiquity, of your own culture, you had to go. People who were protectors of the culture, who were historians, they got wiped. Recall during the proto-communist revolution of France, called the French Revolution, what did they do? The revolutionaries rewrote their history to such a bizarrely specific extent that they renumbered the hours in the day, the calendar, new days of the week, in order to eliminate all connection to the heritage of the past. And why would they do that? So that they can rewrite it to their liking, so that they can have a new day zero. So that, and by the way, we also see this in anthropology and archaeology, low key, where, well, and you know why, right? How the dating system that we have used for a number of centuries has been BC and AD because of the significance of the introduction of Christianity into the world through the life, ministry, death, and I personally think resurrection of Jesus Christ. That series of events was so significant for humanity that the best way to understand ancient and modern history is through that particular set of experiences, BC and AD. That, of course, has been replaced by what? BCE and CE, before the Common Era and Common Era, which makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. Common, what do we have in common? What's common before the common? Yeah, it just makes no sense. It's sort of taking the BC and making it BCE, right? This is just this is what they do every single time, as we like to say. The disconnection from our heritage is to remove from us those foundational purposes. What do Republicans always talk about? They always talk about God, family, country. Some will have then after that guns. The Second Amendment, am I right? And they'll say, there's no First Amendment without the Second, right? But the point is, there is a connection to, perhaps even a duty to, the memory of those who came before us, to honor them, to continue on their sacrifice, make meaning from it, let's say. There is no such equivalent on the left. It is all resentment. It is all grievances. Their new American founding is 1619, not 1776. Let's whine, complain, moan, and cry about things that happened in the past, while they may in fact have happened. Certainly, that is not a path to success. Negativity, suffering, anger. That's not going to get you anywhere successful. So I want to now liken that to business. Oftentimes, entrepreneurs start up a company because they're really ticked off about something that happened at a previous employer or with a specific product, and there's a lot of negative energy, but it's raw. And so what they design next is, here's the type of product I don't want to buy, so I'm going to create my specs based around what I didn't want from the last thing or what my bad experience at the previous company was. And is focus on what they didn't want or what they don't want or what customers don't want. Okay, but that can be helpful, yes, so that you have a sense of what to create instead. But that raw negativity doesn't cast a grand vision for what this company is going to be or for the change that you're going to make to draw in those investors, those first customers who are taking a risk. What is the beautiful vision, the glorious promised land? That's heritage type persuasion. What is the purpose of your industry? What is the purpose of the products in your industry? And how has that purpose been forgotten and fallen by the wayside? And now you're picking it back up and carrying it forwards. It's an inspiring message of neon, of 1980s, of a Pontiac GT, a Grand Am. It's neat glasses. It's mullets. It's, you know what it is? It's white boy summer. That's what it is. It's white boy summer. That is heritage. That is vision. That is excitement. What is the white boy summer of your industry, your space, your niche? Focus on what it is that you are building on from the past. That's meaningful, that's purposeful, that's why this thing exists in the first place. And you are now celebrating that in hilarious, memeable moments now.